Good. Well, here we are.
Yes, we here.
Cheers.
We made it. Yeah. What's going on, you
The
guys?
very, very
Welcome.
first one. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the first Phi Tribe Live, right?
Yeah. The very first one. We've been talking about doing this forever, and we thought that we wanted to have a documentary about about all this information, but we weren't sure how to present it. And we kept writing scripts, and the whole thing is so enormous. It's such a gigantic philosophical rabbit hole that we just couldn't sum it up into a simple 30-minute documentary or even hour. It just wasn't happening. So, but then while we were discussing this, we were having the deepest conversations ever. We were like, God, if we just had a camera going,
Right.
you've said it 100 times, if we just had a camera on this conversation, that's the show.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're not really
Here we are with cameras.
with
on a
cameras
conversation.
on a conversation that's not really scripted.
So
And now we don't know what to say.
right. No, well, I was gonna say maybe we should just start with why don't we just start with introducing ourselves? Nobody knows who we are. All they've heard is what we've produced and what we've made. So
Yeah. Well, I'll start. I'm Ford, and I'm a music producer, engineer, recording artist, and founder of Phi Tribe, along with these fine gentlemen, my best friends in the world here.
yeah.
And we just had this really cool thing. This whole project started a decade ago of how to. I won't get into that, but we'll get into that later. But
Yeah, we can get into that. We'll dive into
All right,
that a
that's
little bit
it.
later.
That's me. I make
Right.
music.
Yeah.
I make music. Okay.
Sure. So I'm Mike, Mix Mike, everybody calls me. Producer, recording engineer also, and I moonlight as a esoteric researcher and lover of all things 432. So
Yeah. Right on.
and Jeff.
Well, now to be about as anticlimactic as we can get, I'm just lucky to be here, as they say. I'm Jeff, and I'm the supporter in many ways of what these two are doing. And once in a while, I'll have a kind of a jewel.
Oh, you got plenty of them.
But mostly just I think what I try to do is from more of a layman's sense, try to talk to these guys and get information, so just normal, see how it would resonate with just normal people.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times we get so deep, and you guys get so deep, and that's why you're good at what you're doing, that only
Right.
deep people would really be into it.
Yeah.
And so we got to try to make it for the normal, for the masses, if
Gotta
that makes
kinda-
sense.
Yeah. And we forgot the last member of the team. You guys probably hear him snoring in the background. Atlas, the pup, the official Phi
Yeah.
Tribe pup. We'll move
Yeah.
a camera so you can see him.
So that's Atlas.
Atlas is down there.
That's the Atlas Cam.
He's been
Coming
in
soon.
on every single one of these sessions, and that's how I test out the sleep music, because if he's out sleeping like that with that snoring going on,
we
then
know
we
we're
know
doing it right.
it's working. It's definitely working.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should probably talk about well, first of all, I think we should let people put some questions in the chat, and if you guys got some questions, put them in the chat, because we're gonna take some time to answer them. So you can start like doing that, and we can keep talking about some stuff. But I think we should probably talk about like why we're doing all this.
Yeah. Well, I guess this started as a passion project for me years ago, more than a decade ago. I wanted to create a record label that was about the betterment of mankind. It wasn't about 432 and Phi Balancing back then. It was just, I had spent almost 3 decades in the music industry, working for record labels.
Right.
And then I had the quintessential spiritual experience, and it changed my life in every possible way. And I realized the thing that was going to make me the happiest is if I could merge those two things together. And that was the beginning of a long list of failures that eventually became Phi Tribe. We got the right combination.
Right.
You and I went down these esoteric rabbit holes of 432 and
years.
alchemy and
Yeah.
just a million zillion conversations about that stuff. And then all of a sudden it started to click a couple of years ago. And we were just like, Wow.
Right. Yeah. I remember when stuff started really coming together. That was it was a big turning point. Because like for me, it was I never really had aspirations of starting a record label or anything, but I was really started nerding out over 432 and other tunings and temperaments, and developing a system that could help people improve their brain states and stuff like that. And we had gobs and gobs of conversations just about nerding out about stuff, and it never really was anything other than just conversations until like one day we just something clicked where we were just like, oh my gosh, I think we can actually like bring this together into something. It's not just a little science experiment I have going on the side. This is like, oh wow, okay, we can actually make something of this. Yeah. And even then, my involvement in Phi Tribe is a little bit more recent, but we've been friends forever. So it's been cool to see this develop over time and all the different stages and everything. So
yeah, it's really, really interesting because Mike and I, opposites attract. Like our minds work very, very, very differently. I'm very, very right-brained, feeling-oriented. Everything is intuition and feeling and gut instinct. And Mike is very precision, mathematical. Yeah. If it doesn't make sense, if you can't prove it, it's he's very like no, yeah. And so the two of us coming together, I'm able to take these leaps, and he's able to restrict me back and be like, no, let's stay in the real zone, and right. and then between the two of us, we just have this magical way of looking at this. Yeah. That's like, wow, we can really resonate with a lot of people because the things I say are very, very woo, for some people, sure, and the woo audience is going to love that stuff. But for the people who are like, all right, that's a bunch of woo, you could be like, no, this is science. This is like
there's like facts,
very real,
real actual science, not just people doing, very thrown together experiments or whatever. Like there's hard mathematics that you just can't argue with,
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome that there's that, and there's the much more philosophical woo, as you put it, kind of side to it too, that they both come together. And I think that's the real magic of this, is it's both of these things. It's not just philosophy, and it's not just mathematics. It's like both of these things together. It's the thing that bridges the gap between those, or the discrepancies between those, which is cool.
Yeah, totally. We were talking last night, and we were saying that, what makes Phi Tribe so completely, utterly, astonishingly magical is that, for the record, Mike and I are not scientists. We're audio engineers. And producers and musicians, but the science is very real, and the people we're getting this information from are very, very serious scientists, and it's the biggest names. Tesla was into this stuff. I mean, this is like Maxwell. There's a lot of famous people who are really, really into this. This is not like totally woo.
Yeah, there's a lot of famous people in the past and
in the now.
Current. There's a lot of I think a lot of our best stuff is really anchored on some of the people who are really pushing the envelope now, like Robert Grant and
Dan Winter.
Dan Winter, yeah, like
Ken Wheeler.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are doing the real heavy hitting in these things, and we're able to pull this stuff together, because or bridge a lot of these gaps and piece a lot of things together that I feel like no one's really looking at currently, which I think is great. It's pushing things forward in a way.
And in a way, like to go back to like what I was saying, is that it's as if music is the only thing that can unify these things together.
It's the universal
and that's
language.
Right, because it's the universal language.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got all these scientists and physicists over here saying that this is what it is. And then you've got all these biologists and stuff over here saying this is what it is. And then you've got theologians over here saying this is what it is. And then you've got mathematicians this is what it is. And atheists saying this is what it is. And Buddhists saying what it is.
And the secret society's not saying what it is.
Right. But the thing that it is all of them together. But music is the thread that sews the whole thing together. Once you can understand that everything is music, then it's like
it all starts coming together.
it just locks into this like holy cow thing. You want to show them that cylinder example that you had last night?
Oh, yeah, Jeff.
I got it.
Yeah,
here.
pull up that little slide.
Let's see. Where is it here?
I think you got to double tap it.
Oh, yeah. I thought I put it in there. I guess. Oops. Oh well. Sorry, the dog is like definitely.
Yeah. The dog is we had that good Phi Balanced thing going, so he's sleeping.
Either that or he's
Here we go. All right, so check this out. So the picture's up now.
Oh, okay. So the picture's up, yeah, and it's a picture of a cylinder actually, and one end is colored orange, and that orange color is a circle. And if you were to look at it from that end, it would appear to be a circle, and that is true. It does look like a circle. And if you were to look at it from the other side, perpendicular side, it would look like a rectangle. And while both are true from a certain point of view, it's not the whole truth. And I think a lot of people, and I don't want to come with a huge ego in saying this, because this is really our work here has been really just tying loose ends. But I say all that just to say that the whole truth is this thing that requires a lot of viewpoints. And while all these viewpoints are very specialized and needed to have these very particular viewpoints, it doesn't, without them all being put together, it doesn't give you the whole picture, And so the truth there in the middle being the cylinder, I feel like we're starting to put that together.
Let's I think the picture just stayed in the preview.
Oh,
we didn't know how to get it over to live,
you're there now. It's working now.
Is it in the live thing?
Yeah, let's go back to this wide shot here, and let's just see if it goes, because there's a delay.
I don't think the picture ever showed up in my live view.
There it goes.
Here.
It went. Hang on. It's because there's like a 30-second delay, I think.
Oh, there's a 30-second delay.
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
Maybe 20 seconds. So let's just see.
This is more than I ever wanted to learn about engineering
and broadcasting.
Just put me in front of the
Thank you guys.
mic.
Oh, they say they couldn't see the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it may be
the front man is actually right
it
for
still
once.
It has to be in the red box. If there's a green box around it, it's not.
So let's try it again.
Previewed.
Okay, so how do I put it in the red box?
So how do we move it over to the red box, Mike?
You don't move it over. You just got to tap it, like double tap it. I think it should add it. Sorry, guys.
There it goes.
There it is.
You have to flick it over there. Is what you got to do.
Okay.
Thank
you. Yeah, so we got it. So thank you guys for letting us know. Sorry about the technical difficulties. This is our first run, so we're gonna get better as time goes on.
Yeah, first time.
So like I was saying, now that you guys can see it, you kind of have a better idea of what I'm talking about there. So like I said, from one angle it's one thing. Yeah, I see it. Or I guess it's not orange. It's orange on the rectangle side. It's blue on the circle side. And from one angle it looks like a circle, and they cast a circular shadow, and then the other side looks like a square, rectangle from the other side. And while both of those viewpoints, those particular points of view are true, it's not the whole truth. And I think while it's important to have those individual viewpoints, like it's important to have the very, very deep, specialized subjective viewpoints, like from Dan Winter has a particular view on this, and then Robert Grant comes from another totally different view, but they are describing the same thing, and it requires all of these viewpoints to kind of piece this thing together, Yeah. And while I'm not going to even begin to take credit for any crazy discoveries, I think it's ultimately what we're trying to do is piece a lot of these things together to make kind of like a much more holistic view of whatever all this is.
Reality.
You know what I mean?
Reality. It's a whole new way of looking at reality. Like you're describing that cylinder and square. It's just the slight. We're all looking at the same thing, and it's just by taking the slightest shift, the slightest step in backward, as Mark would always say. Is that you get this different viewpoint, and you realize that it's something that you were completely wrong.
Right.
You were just a little bit wrong. You're completely wrong. And if we can all just concede that if we could just take this tiniest little step, and it then you're going to see it for yourself. But what's amazing is that this is not going to require any kind of crazy woo faith. there's going to be this breadcrumb trail of a rabbit hole that we're going to take you down, scientifically, mathematically, and every which way possible, through physics and through spirituality and through philosophy and through biology, that we can describe this. And once you see the pattern, the patterns speak for themselves. They don't require any proof. It's like, oh, those patterns are so, the possibility of all of these patterns happening are so astronomically impossible that this has to be what's going on.
It just has to be what's going on.
I like what
how many things do you need?
What Wayne Dyer used to say is, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change.
Yeah,
that's very true.
That is so
it's
true.
just very simple.
Yeah,
but very true.
Yeah,
that's very true. Very true.
So Phi Balance. That kind of leads us into that, because we still haven't even, talked about that.
Yeah, this is
great.
It goes so deep, and here's the thing: is like any of you out there who are already experiencing our chakra sleep videos and solfeggio sleep videos, then you're already feeling this, and if you haven't experienced it yet, check out the comments after this is over. There's literally 100,000 comments of people who are just mind blown at what this is doing. And this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. The possibilities here are not just music. We want you to learn this philosophy so you can apply it to your life, because once you apply it to your life, man, I mean, you want to talk about some changes in your life that are for the better? Wow.
Like level 1 is just, listening to the Phi Balanced sleep or Phi Balanced, whatever, anxiety and stuff like that. And that helps you with those things. But the more you listen to it, the better it's going to help you and the better it's going to work. So the more that you're exposing yourself to it, ultimately the more potent it's going to be. The reason for that mostly is just is Phi Balanced, the technology, and how it entrains really, 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 really well. And that's just kind of like, so I guess just on the surface level, Phi Balance is like a system that we've developed to help you with to help even out or balance your brain waves, your emotions, your feelings, all that stuff together. Because all of these things are, in fact, waves and wavelengths, your brain waves and your heart coherence and stuff. And as you expose yourself to a field of vibration of a particular manner, your body rhythms start to match that. And that's ultimately what our goal is with that. And that's more of the scientific explanation. But what's interesting, like I said, is the more you do it, the more it can be utilized and the better it works. And that's when it starts getting into, like Ford was saying, the more life-changing stuff. So if you're, really looking for that next level, just keep exposing yourself to it. And as we, start rolling out more and more of this, they're going to get better and more potent in themselves. So, I mean, it's nowhere but up from here,
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I'm super excited for the future.
Yeah, and we're going to be really vague today because this is, like I said, it's super, super, super deep. And don't think that this is something that you're going to get watching one episode. This is not that kind of a thing. And we want to keep it interesting. We can get straight into the math and the science of it, but then you guys would be like,
I don't want to talk too much about that.
You sound like Atlas right now. But we can get into more of the mystical side of it and just say that, what we're talking about ultimately is connecting the macro with the micro, and it's what we're talking about is transcendent of time and space.
The in with the out.
The inner with the outer.
The up with the down.
And because it's transcendent of time and space, it's involving you from your singular perspective, and it's involving the famous singularity that we're all anticipating here. It's singularity itself becoming aware of itself that you're interpreting as a spiritual experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also cool if you don't want to understand all this stuff. You just press play, lay down, and go with the flow, because that's what Phi does. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, is the flow.
Yeah, it's the flow.
It's the flow. Jeff is Mr. Flow.
Just what it does to you.
Which
it does for you.
Well, yeah, the flow is, everybody knows, when we talk about flow state, some people aren't aware of what that is. Some people call it the zone, but everybody knows that feeling of driving down the highway and you realize, like, oh my God, I've passed 3 exits, and who was driving? My mind was completely somewhere else.
Row your boat
gently down the stream.
Right.
Merrily.
Life is but a dream.
Life is but a, wow. Now, you said we weren't going to get too far down the rabbit hole. We just did.
That's pretty far down the philosophical rabbit hole. Yeah, so there's that. And so that this music will instantly put you into that state. And in that state is the same place that you're trying to get to when you're meditating. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get to that flow state, that place of just ultimate synchronicity. And from synchronicity, if you're creative, and however you're creative, whether you're a creative accountant or you're a creative musician or a creative artist, if you can get yourself into flow state, that is when you are fully tapped into the all. And you can let the all you can let the fractal nature of the universe do the work for you. You just basically surrender to the current, and you allow the current of the entire universe to push this through for you, and you just steer it. So that is the power of flow state, when you can harness it. And that's what this music is really designed to do.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And it's really just like anything else in life, is getting out of the way with your brain.
Yeah.
And the universe is set up to help you to operate at a premium, but we block the energy with our actions, our minds, our lack of, our thinking of lack. There's just so many things that we do, and the machine is already built.
Yeah.
And what kind of machine is it, Mike? Camera's on you.
To add on to kind of what both of you guys are saying, the flow state's really important, and I think it's not just about flow state either. I mean, there's what's amazing about this technology is its ability to enhance multiple states of consciousness. We can bring states of consciousness up, for things like studying and learning improvement, but also we can bring them down for panic attacks, anxiety, and PTSD. So it has a real practical use, like even if you're not into something like, meditation or yoga practices or anything like that, or prayer. This is something like super, super practical where, for example, like for people that play sports, getting into the zone is super important. That flow state is really important for athletic performance. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you get nervous or something like that, you can run one of the programs that helps you with anxiety and gets you in a calmer state where you can focus and be in that really, really sweet spot of the zone where your peak performance, as Dan Winter would like to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's really just a great practical way to optimize certain states of consciousness. So
regardless of, like you said,
right.
I mean, sports or painter or accounting or like whatever, that zone is where the magic is. I know it is for me, for sure.
Mike, you hit on I think for me a great point, because there's no way I'm ever going to learn how to meditate. I'm just
most people don't have time for that.
Right, and so you can dial in one of these programs that you talked about, depending on what particular thing you're wanting to work in and work through, and it's like taking a shortcut, like what is it, Chutes and Ladders? That game where all of a sudden, anytime you get to warp up or level up, because you'll get the effects on some of these things as if you've been meditating for years. It takes years to get to different levels, from what I understand of meditation, and they're the shortcut. So that's
definitely a way to boost a big help in that. I mean, is it a magic silver bullet? No, but it's going to be the thing. Like it's like taking protein if you're a bodybuilder. Like you can work out, but if you're not taking in the calories, you're not going to see any muscle growth. And you can work at something really hard, but this is optimizing that. It is absolutely optimizing that state of mind so you can get there faster, better, more reliable, And You know, and it also has, you know, benefits like, well, I guess I should back up a little bit. It works regardless of whether you're listening to it over speakers or whether you're listening to it on headphones or your AirPods or whatever have you, which I think is unique compared to a lot of things. Like there's kind of either like these entrainment things where you have to use the system exactly like it's designed, or there's like meditation music. And you know, I think it's important to note that this is both. It's like it is entrainment technology. It is going to work very similar to that, but it's also good just to sit like in the field of the vibrations is a whole nother aspect of it too. There's a whole nother level of
which is something that binaural beats doesn't offer.
No, binaural beats, like I said, that's what I mean. Like, you know, like entrainment technology like binaural beats works only if you're wearing headphones. If you just listen to the tones out of speakers, it's not really going to do what it's designed to do. It requires that push and pull on either side of your head for it to be effective. And this doesn't require that. You can listen to it just on your phone, and sitting in the vibrational field of that. Obviously, the bigger the sound system, the better, the more vibrations, the more it's going to affect you. But I mean, even listening to it on your phone is going to do that. And that's, I mean, to me, amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing. I mean,
and you both write programs that will have the Phi tuning, Phi Balanced, along with binaural beats.
Yeah.
So there is
that is definitely part of it. Yeah, it's very, very layered. There's a lot of layers to it, which is why it works on so many levels. Is that there's something in there for every situation. And so no matter what situation you're in, you're never going to get the whole picture all at once. Like each kind of experience, like whether you're listening to it over like a stereo or a phone or headphones, all of those are going to be slightly different experiences, only because you're being exposed to different aspects of the program or the song, Phi tuning. So, but it's important to note that it is very, very multi-layered. So you're getting a lot of stuff no matter how you experience it. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe one thing that'd be good is once you break down for people that maybe have heard they've heard binaural beats, but they really don't even know what it is. That might be a good.
Well, yeah. I mean, with the binaural beats, which is just part of what we're doing, works on the principle like Mike was saying with the headphones, and it's basically presenting a single tone that is going to lock your consciousness into that state of mind. So let's say you wanted to take you from an alpha state to a theta state. An alpha state would be a much higher resonant frequency, and the theta state would be a lower frequency, say 4 hertz. So what we would do is put we pick basically the frequency that we're trying to tune you to. Let's say 432, for example, and that'd be A equals 432 hertz. For the binaural beats, we put a 430 hertz in the left speaker, and then 434 in the right speaker. And that difference is 4 hertz. Your brain is trying to make up the difference.
Right.
And that's just how binaural beats work in about as brief of a summation as I can say. That can be crazy deeper than that. You know, that's just a very superficial way of looking at it. But Phi Balance is really, to me, where the magic is, which is sympathetic resonance. And that sounds like a really fancy scientific term, but
it is.
It is, but we've all experienced it, and you've
constantly experiencing it.
So
right now.
For a direct experience you guys can relate to is when you pull up to a traffic light and someone pulls up to you and they're playing that bass sound. They got a loud bass system, and then all of a sudden the mirror in your car is vibrating and other things are vibrating. It's because that frequency of that car next to you is matching the resonant frequency of that mirror, and it's causing it to burn, to vibrate. So this is the same
vibration.
Yeah, it soaks it up and it amplifies it. So it's the same principle if you've seen an opera singer break a wine glass by singing into it. They're literally matching the frequency of the glass until it amplifies, and then the glass can't contain that vibration anymore. It's too much and it explodes.
Right.
And that's possibly what healers do.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they're able to they're able to generate an energy source from their body that causes your body to raise with them. And
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Totally.
sympathetic resonance is constantly happening, and everybody's being exposed to vibrational fields constantly, day in and day out. What the issue is the non-coherent nature of those vibrations. They're very chaotic and they're very unnatural. Especially if you live in a city, you get exposed to all kinds of construction noises, cars driving by, and those vibrations, because they're chaotic, they're not they're patternistic, but they're not natural. They're not harmonic with each other, and that's the thing, is they're these tones that are very dissonant, and sitting in those dissonant fields does have a subtle effect on your biology, especially over time. So as you sit there for years and years and get exposed to this stuff, it does take some wear and tear on your body. And so the idea also with Phi and the Phi Balance and and resonance is that we're putting you in a field that's really, really coherent and very, very, very harmonic, which is something that it's very hard to do. And even our musical system has flaws in its ability to be ultra harmonic. And so that's something that we're really is the real big thing, is just bathing in these harmonic vibrating fields helps your biology optimize. And that's
why some people they say, hey, this is not feeling good, this is weirding me out,
right?
Because
it's
they
unusual, right?
Yeah,
it's not something that most people get exposed to, is those really coherent fields of vibration.
You're out of balance for all your life, and then all of a
Right.
sudden someone exposes you to balance, and it's like, whoa, what is happening to me? And it could be a little scary the first time if you're not
Sure.
used to it.
Well, yeah, because
sure.
we're addicted to toxic. We're addicted to toxicity our whole life.
Yeah.
And when you I don't want to say become enlightened, because none of us are claimed to be enlightened, but when you get on a path and something wakes you up and you start seeing how toxic you are, and you're wanting to become less toxic, so many things that you do are so challenging and uncomfortable. And like, I know people that can't sleep. They drink themselves to sleep, whatever. I say, hey, man, try, you got to try this Phi Tribe.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, man, I like to do it. They want to play the TV. They want to have all this other toxic stuff.
More chaotic.
Yeah.
But they're so used to it.
vibration.
It's like a person that's addicted to being hit all the time. They won't leave the person that's hitting them because they're still addicted to that toxicity. And, I think that's I encourage people, if they feel uncomfortable their very first time, keep trying. Ford often says, try a different program, and maybe you can talk about different ways of entering or starting for people that maybe just want to start with a very gentle program.
Yeah, the deep sleep chakra balancing we have for the third eye. Now we've got them for the 7 main chakras, and the third eye chakra, it really induces lucid dreaming. So because of that, and if you're not aware of lucid dreaming is to have a dream and be also subtly awake in the dream and realize that you're dreaming. And usually lucid dreaming, when you're, unless you've gotten really good at it over the years, you just becoming aware that you're dreaming will kind of jar you out of the dream. But the third eye chakra sleep program puts you into a theta state for a long period of time, and in the theta state, it's dipping you down into a delta state, and then back to a theta state, and then down to a delta state. So it's kind of like gently waking you up, just enough to kind of keep you in what's called a hypnagogic state. And this is a state that's not quite sleeping and not quite dreaming. But the beautiful thing is you're getting a full night's rest. You are completely getting 100% sleep, but you're able to be a little bit alert and active and conscious during your dream state. So all that to say that is kind of a playground that has made that video very, very, very popular. It went viral for us almost immediately. And so because it went viral, that people land on that one primarily.
I mean, it works. It's a great one.
I mean, it definitely works.
It's great.
But it is level 6 out of 7 levels. So,
Right.
you know, if you're not used to that, it might be a little bit much. So
big.
I tell people to start at the root chakra and work your way up. And actually, you know, the solfeggios are probably the easiest place to start. They're very, very Phi Balanced rich. You don't really need headphones. You can just play it in the room at a very soft volume and start getting used to it that way. I think is the best way to kind of get yourself into it.
Yeah. So we got some questions in the chat.
Great.
We can kind of go through here. Steph West asks or says, I found this channel not long ago and always curious, what does Phi mean? And is it spiritual or just relaxation, and how? Steph, maybe to give you a small background of Phi and Phi Balance. Phi is a reference to what is known as the golden ratio. And the golden ratio is a ratio that manifests all over nature. In fact, like almost everywhere. And that's important to note. Why we call everything Phi is because Phi in itself isn't balanced. It's a ratio of 1.618 to 1. And there we go. We got the Nautilus shell. So if you look at that Nautilus shell, in the middle of it, there's these squares, and those squares represent the Fibonacci sequence, and which is also a representation of Phi. As the sequence of numbers goes up, the difference between one number and the previous number gets closer and closer and closer to this ratio, and that manifests everywhere, and that's why we're trying to balance everything with Phi. So that's where Phi comes from, and that's kind of what it means. And Phi Balanced is our system that we're using to balance according to this natural mathematical constant that comes up everywhere.
And we see it in nature. I mean, it's all over nature. Ford, why don't you explain this next slide and some of the things that we see?
Yeah, as you can see there, you can see the same ratio pattern is present in a hurricane. It's present in broccoli. It's present in a snowflake. It's present in all these different a galaxy as the shell.
And it's proportional patterns.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, exactly. Proportional
To the math
it's
that
a
I already
scaled,
forgot that Mike just mentioned.
It's a scaled system. So, like, imagine a square, and then you make a square a certain size larger than that, and every square is scaled the same. That by that system is how we're kind of doing things. And it's important to note that scale, the reason why scale is so important is because this is music using scales, and there's a reason why we call that scale. Because it does in fact involve a very similar method of deriving the notes. So
right now, you see, we're looking at the Mona Lisa, and now we're looking at designs of faces. But all of
beauty,
all of the great masters used Phi in the design of all of their master paintings. The proportion and the relationship between all the objects to each other. And I mean, this is the science, and we, again, Ford talks about there is a sense of woo to all of this, but here we're really just trying to highlight the science.
Yeah, no, this is definitely an introduction to that. We do have some more questions. Prism asks Robert Grant, Ken Wheeler, and who was the third one? The third one was Dan Winter. He does he does a huge amount of work on the golden ratio and Phi. That is his thing for sure, and a great resource. Definitely look up all three of those.
Yeah.
Because they hit the same thing from three totally different viewpoints and backgrounds and modalities, which is really great.
Yeah, Ken Wheeler's channel is Theoria Apophysis, and we get a lot of our knowledge from him as well. Him and Dan Winter and Robert Grant.
Yeah, those are definitely the three big ones.
The three big ones.
There's a lot of others, but even their work is built on a lot of the same people.
Sure.
So
Nassim Harriman.
Nassim, yeah.
But we get a lot of, but then on the other side of the coin, we're into Terence McKenna.
Yes.
Who would be some others?
Timothy Leary. We can just
Timothy
dance around this.
Right.
Timothy Leary.
Don't step right in.
Yeah.
Ram Dass,
Ram Dass.
formerly Dick Albert,
Yes. Yeah.
Richard Alpert,
Richard Alpert. Right.
and so you get the really hard, serious math guys, and you get philosophers, and they all intertwine.
Sure.
They all interact and all weave.
Even the math guys. I mean, Robert Grant's work. I mean, God, he has the book called Philomath. It's philosophical mathematics, and that's a huge portion of what drives what we do. At least for me, on my end.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, without getting too entrenched in
Right.
the science of it, is just realize that Phi is perfection. It is
Self-organization.
if there was a divine thumbprint, it would be Phi, and it's that the fingerprints are everywhere. You can find them everywhere in nature, and it is always Phi. And that is just such a fascinating thing. How can we ignore that?
Right.
If everything in the universe, nature is Phi, and everything we're doing in our reality is not Phi, and we're unhappy, there's got to be some sort of correlation there.
Definitely a correlation. No kidding.
So come join the Phi Tribe.
And get happy.
And get Phi
gain
Balanced.
strength and knowledge, and then leave the tribe, which is
Yeah,
another discussion for another day.
Yeah. Here's another question from Jamie Houston. Let's see. It says, I enjoy your music, and I am deaf in my left ear, and my right ear works 100% fine. Do you think I'd be hearing this differently than a person with perfect hearing? The short answer is yes, you'll hear it different, but does that mean it's going to not work as well? No, not at all, because it actually doesn't require you to hear it at all. It works even, like I said before, standing in just the field of vibration. So
your
whether
skin
you hear
is
it or not,
vibrating.
it's vibrating
Your
your body.
cells.
Yeah,
and
your skin is the biggest organ.
And there's a benefit to that. So you would physically hear it different just because your hearing is different, but it is still effective regardless of that. So
Absolutely, for sure.
Great question.
Great question.
that is a good question. Yeah,
What does she win?
The best question of
What
the night.
what
so
prizes?
far.
what prizes are we giving away tonight, Johnny?
This thermos.
Right, you can. I don't even have anything. Sorry.
Okay, let's make a note. We got to give
someone
away a prize.
says. Someone says if you wanna find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Nikola
Quoting Nikola
Tesla.
Tesla. Yeah, and that is that's one we live by.
Yeah, he definitely that is exactly what we're talking about. Is exactly what he is referencing. He was so big onto this, and this is the very discussion that caused Nikola Tesla to call Albert Einstein an idiot. They got into a huge argument over this subject that we're getting into, and like we were talking about in the beginning, that you can look at something from one perspective, and just by taking the slightest shift and seeing it from a different perspective, you see it a completely different way. And what Tesla was so adamantly upset about was that we're looking at it from the wrong perspective. And of course, if we had listened to Tesla, where all that was leading to is possibly free energy, it could be healing, it could be, there's endless possibilities where that technology could have gone.
Probabilities,
yeah. And we didn't take those steps probably because of those. Nobody wanted that cat out of the bag.
because you can't monetize free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff.
Like weed and
Yeah.
What else? Other things that help you to gain insight and knowledge and do better. If it's free, it's evil. Like don't pasteurize a milk from a cow in your own backyard, baby. You're going to jail.
Right.
Yeah, boy.
It's crazy. That's all the questions in the chat right now.
Well, you guys are smart.
Yes.
We have the
But those are
smartest
some great
audience.
questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
no. And if you guys have more questions, please put them in the chat. We'll get to them.
And we'll take comments, criticism.
Yeah.
What can we do to make the show more entertaining?
Yeah.
It will become more entertaining
As
we
get better
as
at
we get
this.
down the line.
Yeah, for sure. And we just want you guys to feel the astonishment that we're experiencing, because when as we unfold this for you, the thing that you're gonna say every time we unfold more stuff, you're gonna just be like, oh my God, how come this isn't the most talked about thing in the world? Because it has that much of a profound effect on your life and on everything. It
definitely can.
Not just in your life and like the present moment in your functionality throughout the day, but like your existential life, like the meaning of life, and what am I doing here, and what are my goals and ambitions, and what do I want out of life? It's all intertwined with this subject. If you're fascinated with chatbot GPT, if you're fascinated with the future and where AI is taking us, this is all part of that same Phi circle, because at the center of that is this singularity experience that Kurzweil and all these others are talking about. So regardless of where your interests are, it all folds back in on itself, because everything is a toroid. And
which is a manifestation of Phi, right?
Yeah, so, manifestation of Phi.
That's important to note. You know?
So I just threw a toroid photo up there just so they can kind of see what we're talking about. And
it's a naked one too.
Yeah, it is a naked toroid. So we're going to be talking about toroids quite a lot. And as you can see, it's just a donut. And it's we should probably have donuts every single time we do one of these things.
We're gonna do that.
Like mixed donuts.
Definitely. Let's do that.
Because we are together. We're like a mixed box of donuts, right?
I'll eat the holes. I'll take the holes.
Oh my God.
I'll take
the donut holes.
Oh my gosh.
Some with sprinkles, or some with chocolate syrup, or some with strawberries. Everyone's a little different. Some are nuts, a little bit like me.
You ever smoke a donut?
I've
never tried
smoking.
No.
But he told me you had a donut cheeseburger the other day, didn't you?
I was talking about the cheeseburger with the donut for the bun. Yeah. Oh man.
Toroidal burger.
Sinful.
Wow.
Let's see. Prism has another question. They say, have you experimented with any rhythmic remixes yet? Familiar with Imhart's drumming at the edge of magic? No, actually, I'm not familiar with that at all. I've never heard of Imhart. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
So as far as like experimenting with rhythmic stuff, we are, especially for the study stuff that we're going to be releasing upcoming, is a little bit more rhythmic and not as ambient. The thing with most of our stuff is very ambient and floaty and chill, because that's the best way to facilitate those particular brain states. But as we're trying to get into more new territory and stuff, there's going to be a lot of more rhythmic stuff.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to the channel, I want you guys to realize that we've got a whole playlist of about 30 songs that are like radio worthy songs that are all Phi Balanced. And our intention, we've got this wild stallion's dream of just changing the music, and saving the world with music. But like, eventually that playlist is going to have hundreds and hundreds of songs from all kinds of collaborators. And and all of it is rhythmic. So you've got stuff to work out to, you got stuff to do yoga to, you got stuff to run to, you got, and it's going to be having the same effect on you as the sleep stuff is. It may not be quite as profound of an experience, but it's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, mostly because they're short. I mean, a song is short. It's like 3 minutes, but it's still, like you said, it's still Phi Balanced, and it's still going to have that same impact. We're tuning things better, more harmonically, and and so, we've been releasing songs as well. And we're also trying to get more artists to release songs. Yeah. So I think that's something, we should mention, because if you are an artist making music in 432 or, some of these other frequencies, like, please contact us, email us, or just jump in the chat or whatever. We would love to take a listen to your music.
Definitely. We've noticed there's there's a lot of people trying to do this or doing it, and maybe not sure what they're doing, or maybe they know a little bit to be dangerous. But there's these little fires all over the globe of people doing this, but we're all so isolated. And the idea of Phi Tribe was to be like a collective, a one-stop shop, the place to go where we're all kind of collabing together to make this new scene in music. We can eventually have enough songs that you won't even have to listen to regular music. You just listen to this all the time.
And to Mike's point about just welcoming other artists, other creatives.
It's a tribe.
We really we are trying to make this, or we're not trying. This is a movement, and it's an inclusive movement. And I think a lot of people, if you read the comments, they come here every night because they really resonate with just what's happening and how things are affecting people and how people are treating people.
Right.
And it's a place where people feel comfortable, and we
That's what we want.
we love that, and we want everyone. So if you're an artist, we're looking for you to come and inspire others, and we're just building a platform where we can showcase your talent. We don't want to own anything of you. We've all came out of the recording of the record industry, like Ford said, and so we really just want to try to promote everyone and help everyone be successful and help other people gain comfort and growth through all this. And so we need more people. We're putting out the call. If you're out there, or if you know someone, just turn them on to us.
Yeah. Jamie has another question. Jamie Houston says, would you consider looking into making an ADHD focus video? The very short answer is yes, absolutely. We're already doing that.
Yeah,
we're going to be putting out a lot more stuff for focus related things. Most of the stuff has been for the opposite of that, relaxation and recentering. But yes, we see a very, very strong demand for focus things of all kinds. So we're definitely going to be getting into that for sure.
Yeah, we do have one on there already called Focus.
Right.
It's called Deep Focus, and it was released probably about 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah.
What was her question?
If we're going to be doing ADHD stuff. Okay. Was that the ADHD kicking in for you?
I don't have enough focus. Hurry.
Please
make one quickly.
You should probably listen to our Deep Focus.
Yes.
You're never going to believe this, man. We got this craziest thing for you.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. It's going to be great.
Let's see here. People are putting some more stuff in the chat here. Mickey Hart is M. Hart. That's the drummer from Prison. Oh, for the Grateful Dead. Yeah. I'll have to look into that. It's funny.
Great documentary.
Yeah. There's a lot of
it the other day.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't dive into that rabbit hole right now, but yes, no. I'm actually. I do know a little bit about the Grateful Dead. So yeah, we can dive into some of those things maybe next time.
Right on.
Let's see. What else is in this chat?
Has anyone out there seen the new movie? I think it's called Everything Everywhere All at the Same Time or All at Once.
No.
Fantastic movie, all about Phi.
Oh yeah.
But you don't know it until right near the end.
Okay.
And then it all comes together. When you see this thing, you're going to be amazed at the direction, at the writing. It is so forward thinking.
Oh, right on.
And it stars the remember the I think the 80s the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Remember those great
Oh yeah.
So it's one of the lead actresses from that is in this.
Oh. What's this say?
Bobby Wilson's got a comment about dealing with grief. So we don't have anything specific for grief because it's a little bit of a complicated thing, but that is definitely something we're trying to get into is more emotional states.
The solfeggios are going to really be the best hit for that.
Yeah, that's probably about we don't have something specifically for grief, but there are
not
some
for
of
grief,
the
but that is
solfeggio tones that do cover some of those things.
Yeah.
Some of the some of the emotional states are a little bit more difficult to tackle, but yeah, we're definitely trying to get stuff for that for sure.
Yeah, the heart chakra specifically would cover grief for sure.
Heart chakra.
Yeah. So that would be the one with the warning symbol on it, but it'd be a green warning symbol. And and probably solfeggio. I don't know. The 417 maybe is going to be something in line with that a little bit. Not exactly grief, but similar. So.
Yeah, we're definitely sorry to hear about your situation there, Bobby. Yeah, definitely give those ones a try, and hopefully that helps. We're sorry to hear about your sister's death there.
Yeah, man, sucks. That's horrible.
Blessings and healing. That's
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got going on in here? Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to. There's a lot of stuff. Well, thank you guys for putting so many comments in here.
Yeah, awesome.
It's awesome to see how many of you actually are interested in this.
Yeah, it's encouraging. We thought we were the only nerds into it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I know there's a lot of cool people into this. So
let's see.
Just by give us a thumbs up if you're like, if what do you consider yourself? Are you like if you're a meditator, if you're into the holistic aspects, if you're into the existential side of it, give us a thumbs up, and then I guess if you're here for a different reason, give us a
yeah, there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of different things here. Yeah,
smiley face or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I come here to sleep.
I just want to sleep, man.
Just let me sleep, man.
I don't want to know how it works. I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Plug and play.
Yeah.
How I think it might, maybe just give a little background of how you made your first sleep track and why did you make a sleep track and why you?
Oh,
You came from a background of for to be very humble, but she had a very powerful career down in Miami with the dance and trance and EDM, and she was traveling the world playing music and just not really living very inwardly.
yeah.
And then she started living inwardly, and all of a sudden the flow came to her, and so how'd that happen?
So how did I go from getting people to shake their ass to go to sleep?
Yes.
That's quite a transition.
Right.
Yeah, I was like Jeff was saying, the rave scene was my thing for a while, and I'm doing remixes for these big artists, and I got the attention of a friend of a friend, knew somebody who was doing an experiment at the University of Miami. They were doing some experiments on sound healing and the possibilities of binaural beats, and their intention was to see if binaural beats would be a way to treat anxiety, ADHD, ADD, and mild forms of autism was the goal. And so over the course of several years, I did about 100 songs with them. And while I was in the process of doing those 100 songs, I had the privilege of meeting Mark Serto, who's the world-leading authority on binaural beats. And he taught me a lot of cool little tricks, and as much as he was allowed to share with me, Mark has been on some deep projects. Montauk. So yeah, so
You can't say that. We're gonna get shadow banned.
Yeah, we'll get exactly. Yeah. So so I was cool. It was very, very fortunate enough to meet Mark and learn a few more things. So, if you do anything enough, you're just gonna get good at it. You're gonna learn all these little tricks to get better and better and better. And so I had 100 songs here sitting here, and we were making a record label that was to be the betterment of mankind. And we thought it would be cool to have, if every song was like a lyrical inspiration and positivity. And then we had these sleep songs sitting around, and we needed content. And we thought, all right, we'll stick it up there and see how it goes. And they just exploded. People were just like, wow. And instantly had a couple of things go viral. And
I like to tell the story. The background she gave, I think, is that's her own perception, because I wasn't there. But once we started working together, the part that what I love about what we've done is that we had this great idea, and we were very ambitious that we were going to have a label that was going to compete with mainstream and just be such, ass kickers, and it just fell flat on its face, and just depression set in, and what are we gonna do, and we're failures. And out of the ashes, Ford figured out a way to make this thing have life. And I think, for me, it was such a great business lesson to continue to fail until you make it. And we both encouraged each other not to quit, because I was going to quit, you were going to quit, you were going to, and
many nights crying, and you're like, don't quit.
Yeah, why do I do music? I'm a Reiki master healer. I'm not gonna do music ever again. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're great. And just never giving up on that dream. And we really are living in that dream. And it's happening. And here we are talking to people about it. And it's really profound. And so I just want to encourage any of you out there that are trying to do something different in the world, do not quit.
Yeah.
And just keep going, because at the moment we thought that we were done, just a little light creeped in, and then a little more light, and then all of a sudden a lightning bolt. And now, with Mike on board, we're creating lasers.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're creating our own patterns and our own designs, and very focused. So it's a beautiful thing. So I just, fail your way to success. That's such a powerful thing.
Well, we've gotten very good at failing.
Someone told me a long time ago that the masters failed more times than the novices ever attempted.
Yeah, and
that's something that stuck with me, and it made me not afraid to fail as nearly as much.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting too. At the beginning, you painted a great picture of you and Mike, of how close you are. But I've known you guys when there was not closeness and love, and then just like regular people, we go through times of challenge, times of this guy's making me mad, and then you keep pushing through, and then the real bond that you guys had was allowed to really flourish now because the right bed was created.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful to see, both of you guys are, I'm just, when I stand around here, I'm trying to be quiet most of the time, because these guys, these are the introverts, but these guys will just.
Jeff is being humble. He's a rock star.
These guys
he was on MTV. He's like a rock star.
These guys will just quote and create and think of things, and I'm just sitting there going, wow, this is so cool to be around. But at the end of the day, what I love the most is the heart and the integrity that they put into this, because I'm kind of the business guy in this, and so I'm always telling them, hey, we need to do that, we need to do this, we need to do that, and they're saying, nah, man, we can't make something like that because Phi doesn't work. It won't work on that. And so the integrity that these two people have is quite a compliment to the things that they create. And so I think that's why it's effective in what it does, because you guys come at it from your heart space.
Yeah.
Then the head space, but you're not coming at it with how can I make money.
No.
Right.
It's such a powerful thing.
Healing is such a better ego boost. I mean, it really it's way better than someone getting a picture or autograph or telling you you're great. When someone sends me a comment and says, I haven't slept in a month and I slept for the first time last night.
It's like awesome.
I mean, it's like, holy
So
cow.
cool.
Or I had a migraine for 3 days and now I don't have a migraine.
It's gone. Yeah, all that stuff.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yes. Okay, so you guys are putting a lot of stuff in the group chat. There's quite a bit of there's a lot of different people come for a lot of different reasons. Meditation.
Awesome.
Prism is here because he says audiophile. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Meditation, yoga, sleep, stress reduction, and that's what we're trying to cover, is a wide range of different things, because we see the usefulness for all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, I see all your quotes and stuff, and they're really, really great. I've been trying to figure out a way to work some of them in here. One of them says, I regard music therapy as a tool of great power in many neurological disorders, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. because of its unique capacity to organize and reorganize cerebral function. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about when I said sitting in vibrational fields is good for you. That stuff is very, very, very beneficial and can clear out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, the next one he puts is music uniquely among the arts is both completely abstract and profoundly emotional. It has no power to represent anything particular or external, but it has a unique power to express inner states. And I think I agree with that halfway, because I do also think it does have the power to represent external things. I think that's
for sure.
I think that's part of the reason. That's half the reason why we connect with it. The other half is because it also can express internal states. I think Atlas agrees.
Yeah, Atlas agrees on that.
He's snoring hard here.
Atlas Cam.
Hold on. You keep talking.
Right.
Atlas Cam.
The Atlas Cam. The Atlas Cam. Let me see. You guys are putting a whole bunch of more stuff in here.
Yeah, if you want to have a direct experience of what Mike's talking about, play this stuff in your house. Go to work and just play it in your house and leave it on all day long, and then come home and tell me how you feel. Or invite some people over.
Right.
The first thing they're going to say, they're like, "Wow, what's different?" They're going to be like, "What's that feeling? What's me?" They're definitely going to comment on something like, they're like, "What is up with the house?" It happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
I love starting my day with Maui. What's that one called? The Hawaiian.
The
Maui.
Maui morning.
Maui morning, very underrated. That, to me, that's a morsel everybody should get into. Just play that in the background while you're getting ready in the morning. It's so powerful. And then when I'm really wanting to gear up to do something where I have to have a lot of energy to work, I put on the shamanic drumming.
You love that shamanic drumming. I do too.
Man, it just gets you jacked.
Awesome.
Jeez,
it's pretty awesome.
It's the opposite of the sleep. It just gets your energy going, and go out and whatever you're going to do. It's So these are great tools just to play in the background all day. And I think that was, that's really been one of Ford's visions, is we want to be the organic source for frequencies in people's lives. You've always commented about, how crazy mothers will be, not crazy mothers, how mothers will become very focused on getting the best of everything for their kids, the right material for their skin, the best food and nourishment to go in their body. The thing that'll do the most is the environment that they're surrounded in, and that's going to be music. So talk a little bit about that vision.
The music, yeah. I mean, this is the elevator pitch to what we're talking about here. Is we're making the equivalent of organic music. And what I mean by that is there was a time in our history, very recent history, that people didn't know about the nutrition of food, right? And then organic food came out, and it was like, holy cow, it was such a mind blower. Well, we're here at that same crossroad again, where I'm saying that there's music out there that's sustenance, and there's music out there that is junk food. And then there's music out there that is organic and healthy and nutritious for the body, just like with food. And I'm not here to say that junk food's bad for you or you should never have junk food, but everything in moderation, right? And if you're one of those mothers who's like completely obsessed with how you can have nothing but the best for your kids, music is going to be the central point of that. I could probably argue that it's just as important or more important than the food we intake. It's all working on the same things. So not just that, but then also realize too that when you're in this receptive state of mind, if we're playing one of the lyrical radio type songs, then that there's a mantra. Whatever those lyrics are that you're singing in the shower is a mantra. And when you're in a state of mind and you're singing along, you start thinking about the lyrics that you're saying to yourself when you're singing along to some of these other artists, You're singing these words and you're manifesting that reality in your existence through the spoken word. So what happens if we change the lyrics to these songs so that with the words that you sing along to are speaking into existence great things, positive things, things that nourish us and make us happy and feel whole and loved.
Yeah.
So that's the big vision.
Yeah. A whole bunch of stuff here. Let me get back to the chat because it's blowing up here. Mary Ellen says, I've shared with 7 family members hoping to improve their sleep, and we appreciate that.
Mary
That's
Ellen,
awesome.
you rock.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mary Ellen.
That's super cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and just so you guys know, I read every single one of your comments. I try to respond to as many as possible. I know that Jeff's in there too, and Mike is in there too. So, we're definitely very interested in what you have to say. So please tell us if you have a crazy dream. Share the dream in the chat, and you're going to find that the people who are attracted to that chat are going to be just like you. They're going to be very curious seekers. And the love in that room is just, all of them are just unbelievable. I mean, if you're feeling alone, just spend some time in those chats because they're incredible.
Larissa says, right, when do I listen to this? And I know in order to open up certain chakras, you have to have the others open up, and it starts with the sacral. So what video do I start with?
Yeah, it's a misconception to think that these chakras have to open up in any kind of order. That is a natural thing that's going to happen anyway. You have no choice on how they're going to open up. But what these are doing, these are balancing those chakras so that it's going to help them. It's going to assist them in their opening. Optimize them for their opening. And so it is true that you're going to open up starting with the root and then the sacral and then into the solar plexus and the heart and the throat and then to the third eye and to the crown. That is going to be the progression of your self-awareness awakening. But you can tune your instrument. Your instrument is like a guitar, for example, right? So you have 7 chakras. Imagine a 7-string guitar. So each one of those strings, you're tuning it with this Phi Balanced music, and as you tune the strings, you can play better music, right? You're a little bit more in tune, and it doesn't sound atrocious. And when you're in tune, you're just
you're working.
You're doing it.
Unless you're Kurt Cobain, then it sounds really good.
Yeah, there's that.
And I like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, no, it's great, awesome.
But he could have used some Phi Balancing.
He could have used Phi Balanced music.
Phi Balanced.
Yeah,
but he probably wouldn't have been so revolutionary in his radical mindset of breaking through, because it would have just pieced him out too much. He would just been more of a hippie.
Yeah.
Just chilled.
I mean, I'm not a Kurt Cobain, but I can say that for sure that I'm at my most creative place when I'm at my emotional extremes, whether I'm incredibly upset or if I'm ecstatically happy. When I'm in one of those places, that's when a magical hit song is going to come out of it. It seems to be a key component.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a bunch of other stuff in the chat. I'm trying to get to everybody here, but there's a lot of stuff. So let me.
Thank you all for coming.
Yeah,
here
we really appreciate
you
guys.
This is mind blowing for our first show.
Yeah, I'm pretty mind blown. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I mean, we're doing this for people, but it requires people to get involved too. Like, we're not a tribe without you guys, so without everybody listening. So we're very grateful for all of you.
Definitely, yeah. Please don't think of us as a record label. This is a movement. You guys are part of that movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a movement to just get everybody into this state of grace. And not, you can take that however you want to take that word. It's a very loaded word, but this music is going to put everybody in a state of grace. And as a tribe, we can spread that grace,
and support each other.
We are going through the most significant time, not only of human history, but of the entire possibility of the human spectrum is about to unfold for us. And there's not enough that could be said to prepare us for that experience. This is the place. And of course, there's a lot of other places you can go to talk about this, but I don't think that you're going to find many places that are going to be intertwining that experience with the direct experience that you can have with this music and your life and
Yeah.
You know.
But it's so interesting and exciting that we are all here at this zenith when just everything is going. Some people's perception would be crazy. Some people would say it's going downhill, and I say it's going as it's going.
It's going,
and not judge it. And that's what I love about Phi, is that it checks my ego all the time and causes me to realize the only thing I can control is what I do inside myself. And I can use the tools like Phi Tribe to help me get better on the inside. Yeah. But it just reminds me to just quit getting out of, quit getting in my head and getting out of my ego and, not be a rock star. Yeah. I was programmed to be a rock star.
Right.
We all were. And we're all living that.
Now I don't want to. No, I don't want to be a star. I just want to flow. Yeah. Flow in that stream. Yes, it feels so much better.
Yeah.
Prism says, shared with my recovery community, and we appreciate that, Prism.
Oh, awesome, Prism. Thank you so much.
I think I'm not exactly sure what kind of recovery community you're referring to, but we are planning on doing. I know one of the things we've been talking about doing is one specifically for addiction recovery. That's a big one on the list for us.
Yeah, we started a PTSD series, which is really taking off. Like the responses we're getting in PTSD is just
great.
Really humbling.
It's really great.
Really humbling.
Let's see here. Half Baked.
Right on, Half Baked.
Yeah, we see you, homie. Half Baked says, I have to say, it's a great night to meet you. You all have changed my life forever. Found your videos just about a couple months ago, and they're amazing. And we appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Half Baked.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Half Baked.
Yes, Chuck. I wish I could get to all of your awesome quotes. There's so many great ones. Yeah, you put a bunch of them in there, and let's see.
Yeah, and if y'all wouldn't mind, if you wouldn't mind too, just everybody just exit out the chat for just 1 second and hit the like button and drop a comment before you leave, because this is our first episode, and that is going to make a huge difference with the algorithm if you guys all give it a thumbs up. So it would be huge for us if you guys could do that. Just to take 1 second, just get out of the chat for a second, hit the like, and come right back, and we're not going anywhere. So
help us play the game.
Yeah,
baby.
We got to play the game.
We got to play the game.
Mary Ellen says, so can you list which chakra music we need to begin with to open all? I really don't know much about those.
Yeah, I would say first start with the Solfeggio 528. Let's do that on the very first. Do that for a week. Just get yourself acclimated to what Phi Balanced is. And then the first of the chakra ones for aligning and tuning that would be the root. That would be the first one you'd go to. And you do root, and then the next one, you probably want to do each of these for about a week. And if one is making you feel uncomfortable, then just skip it to the next one. It doesn't really make a difference, the order, like I said, of what you do these in. The order is going to come naturally. What you want to do is just be getting a sense of feeling into yourself. And as you get more familiar with these chakras and what they mean, you'll know which ones you need. It'll come intuitively to you. And just keep in mind, too, in all of these chakra videos, in the description, it talks about what the chakra is addressing, all of the different thoughts and positives and negatives and different states of mind you're having. It'll talk about the foods you should be eating with it and foods you should be avoiding. But these are all really, really important things to know about them, which will help this become a really great tool for you to use. And if you go to the comment section of our channel, our communities, the community feed of our channel, go back about maybe a couple of weeks, and you'll see I've posted one post that had all of the information for all 7 chakras in there, and you can just kind of go through it like a little chart and see what you need, and that will help you decide which ones to go to first.
Mm-hmm. What would you guys say? Because it's one thing to go ahead and just press play and get involved and interact with the different programs. What what are some techniques or things that you personally do with your mind during that time? And are you aware of anything that you do with your mind at that time
while creating these?
Well, no.
Just like when you're listening.
When you're becoming when you're listening to some, like you're wanting to go to sleep because you use these programs to go to sleep.
Yeah, sure.
And usually it's probably because you're trying to get your mind to quit racing and whatever. I know for me, like I just fall asleep. Like, I mean, it's so like quick. I mean, it's just like I don't even have a chance to think about what's going through my mind. But I wonder if you guys, do you have to do you take any steps to kind of get yourself prepared, or do you just press play and snooze?
I think it's going to be different for the different, like, it depends on what program you're doing. Like the sleep ones are pretty self-explanatory. They are kind of push play and go to sleep. But some of the ones like anxiety ones, if you're really anxious, you're having a panic attack or something. I mean, yeah, you definitely want to take a moment, close your eyes, focus on the music. Especially for the PTSD and anxiety stuff. It's really hard or nearly impossible not to think about something, but it's easy to think about something else other than your anxiety. It's much easier to do that. So focusing on the music and just trying to block out other distractions and stuff like that will really help speed it up. And just focusing on the music really in general for any of them is going to help. Maybe except for the study one, because you should be focusing on your studies. So
yeah, for sure. And then for those of you out there, for those interested in meditating, the thing I tell people about meditation all the time that is the most important thing that is overlooked the most is to be a great meditator. First, you have to bring your life into meditation. And you have to be, that is a discipline. You have to have a discipline about putting away your phone at night. And you have to have a discipline about deciding, okay, I'm not going to take any calls after this point, or I'm not going to do social media at this point. And that is taking control of your life. And just those little tiny things, you wouldn't believe what of a difference they'll make in your life. And they're going to make the actual meditation part much, much easier when you're taking control that way.
Yeah. Let me see here. There's some more questions that we can knock out. You guys are asking a lot of questions. We got a lot of these things to get to here. Let's see here. We got, sorry, I just lost my place here. Jamie Houston again in the chat says, so I'm typically anxious and dreading to go out the door to work in the mornings. Any video suggestions that can have me feeling energized and ready to go in the mornings before work?
The chillax is my jam. That's my morning jam.
Yeah, the chillax.
The chillax.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one.
But if you're wanting to go out and be fearless and have courage, that's where I think the shamanic drumming.
You love that.
Yeah, well, it does something alpha to you.
Yeah, I can see that. It
does.
And for those, if I should even say this, let's just say for those partaking in certain substances that would be like a rocket ship that would take you out to a different dimension very fast. If you start that at 11:11 in the song, you're going to find it's like the Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. It's going to sync up just perfectly.
The Dark Side of Oz.
On the
shamanic, yeah.
11:11. Shamanic.
For our Deemster fans out
there. Let's see here. There's a bunch of other stuff here. I'm trying to read through this real quick. Let's see. Cosmo Girl says music will heal DNA. Yes.
Cosmo Girl, this is our number one fan. She's
she's been in the chat.
Her and Joel, those are like our go-to people. They're always there.
Shout out to Cosmo Girl.
Yeah.
Cosmo.
We see you.
Girl. We see you.
Yeah, music will heal DNA. Yes, it most certainly will, and we have ones for that.
528.
The 528 ones are all those ones.
Proven in a lab. The person who proved it got a Nobel Prize for it. So it's real.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Your body, on its own, will not heal DNA. Correct.
No, right? It needs the
right.
frequency.
Well, you're
like if we break a bone, our body will heal it somewhat back to 95%. But DNA, your body doesn't just normally work on
repair itself.
Damaged DNA.
Yeah. Well, you should check out. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. I've seen so much of his stuff.
I want to say Crick Walter. I think.
No, I'm talking about. He talks about transforming your life through meditation. Got a bunch of shows on a very well-known network, but he talks about how your thoughts up regulate and down regulate genes. And if you're focusing on certain thoughts and certain types of thought, that can actually change.
Bruce Lipton?
No, not Bruce Lipton, but Bruce Lipton does talk about. No. It's gosh, I feel so bad because I love this guy's work. He was in What the Bleep Do We Know?
Oh yeah.
Campbell?
No.
Dan Campbell?
Oh God, I can't remember his name.
I feel so terrible.
Listen,
I'm gonna
Mike,
eat it for this one.
I'm gonna take the camera off of you.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
please.
you can Google it.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
We're gonna do a cheat. We're gonna hack.
Yeah.
And then Mike's gonna pretend he knew all the time.
Yeah. So.
Or maybe he needs some memory DNA repair.
I need some DNA upgrades here.
We've got a track for that.
Right. Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on. This is
Bruce Lipton. No,
it's not
but
Bruce Lipton.
It's
but
his
Bruce
sidekick.
Lipton
It's
Bruce
his
Lipton
sidekick.
quotes this
Sedona?
guy all the
Yeah.
time, and I feel so bad for not knowing for forgetting his
They're
name.
touring together.
Yes, they're touring together.
Oh, Joe
He's got-
Dispenza.
Joe
is who-
Dispenza.
Joe
Oh,
Dispenza,
Dispenza.
who is I'm talking about. Yeah, Joe Dispenza.
I was talking about Greg.
Love Joe Dispenza too. By the way, I feel terrible for
Yeah.
not remembering his name. He's a great, very very smart dude. But yeah, so the 528 stuff will help with that. It'll help up regulate good genes. So it can actually change your DNA a little bit. I mean, the more you do it, the better it works.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very common theme that we're getting in the comments is there's numerous thousands of comments where people are just astonished that after they've been listening to these songs for like a week or so and they're starting to notice shifts in their life that they thought could never be affected by this music, and they're just completely blown away that it's having that kind of an effect on them. So yeah, it's really, I encourage you guys to go to the comments.
I think some of the things I've experienced is, and again, I've got monkey brain. I don't know how to meditate. I'm the ADD guy of the group. So these things.
I think we're all
well, okay. Well, I got bad grades.
Yeah, same.
Okay, well, let's see. I never reached my potential.
Same. No.
Okay. Well, so my point
Dewey.
is, I have noticed in my life that I am much more aware of subtlety, and I can get little glimpses, different glimpses of reality is how I would explain it, but it's just everything slowed down, and I just get different perceptions, and I feel like I'm popping in and out of this reality a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know what it's called, but it's really cool.
Satori.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but I just noticed that I'm much more aware of the subtle or the sublime.
For sure.
And kind of things are in my life are finally slowing down, and it seems like, even though it always seems like time is going faster, like a year is over like that.
Yeah.
I'm very aware that I've been learning perception-wise to slow down, like let's say a Sunday afternoon, and I'm really excited because I'm going to have a dinner with family or friends, and the sun's going to be out, and I know this thing's only going to last 4 hours, but those 4 hours seem like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful. So it's kind of like a a time shifter or time traveler or whatever. But I don't know if the Phi music has helped me with that. But this time in this stage of my life, I'm really noticing that, and it's a beautiful. Beautiful way to experience life, and I'd much rather do that than watch a football game anymore.
Yeah.
And just keep my mind constantly occupied on circus, just being in the, and maybe it is just being in the moment. And I'm just experiencing more of that reality.
Totally. You know what made me think of what I thought of when you were saying that? You guys ever been to a museum and seen an art piece where it's a bunch of junk, kind of, and
oh right,
and then
you look at it,
you get to a certain angle and it creates this perfect picture, you know, and that's what Phi Balance is doing. It's like it's putting you, it's giving you this certain perspective. It's balancing you to have this perspective of beauty, because that's what Phi is. It's perfection and beauty. And when you're aligned with it, suddenly beauty is revealed in everything. But you can't see it when you're not in alignment yourself.
Right, yeah.
It's you're blind to it.
Point. It's a very good point. Let's see here. Let's see. Lots of stuff in the chat here. Trying to see if anybody's got any more.
This is so exciting. This is great. I didn't know so many people were going to be here.
Yeah. Steph West says, does meditation take a lot of practice before you can shut down your head?
Yes, it's going to take a lot of practice, but you can get there. Or it could take no practice at all. It all depends on how far away you are from the truth. So the closer you are to the truth, then meditation is going to come very easy to you. The further away you are from the truth, it's going to come a little bit harder. But before you can start getting good at meditation, first try bringing your life into meditation. Just see what steps can you take every week that you can reduce the chaos of your life by 10%. And just try to do that much each week. 10% less chaos. And with 10% less chaos each time, that's bringing your life into meditation. And as you come into meditation in your life, then you're going to find that meditation is just going to be really easy, super easy.
You want to give us some practical examples from your own life, Ford?
Practical examples? Okay, see, I drive everybody crazy because I don't answer texts or emails or...
There you go. Yeah, well, so you unplug.
I unplug.
You unplug, okay.
It's a priority for me, and I know it drives people crazy. But that's, I put myself first in that regard. That's an important thing to me. Yeah, really, really important.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good
Everything
point.
cool? Oh, we ran out of...
Yes. The computer's running out of battery.
Sorry.
Next question is very much an ADD thought, but does Phi have an effect on animals? Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
it has
totally.
effect on all living things for sure.
We have a Phi for animal doggy walk.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
The Dog Adventure, I think. I don't forget what it's called. But
It's shot
forget what it's
out
called.
in
Yeah.
beautiful Winter Park, Colorado.
Winter
on
Park,
a beautiful
Colorado?
summer day. Our dogs were there.
Yeah, they enjoyed the trail and got to... So it's a beautiful scenery on the trail. It's got... you can hear the dogs enjoy themselves, and it has the Phi Balanced music to calm them. But yeah, the music will certainly calm your animals while you're gone. You're going to come home, and and they're all crazy to be excited when you walk in the door. You're going to walk in the door, and they're going to be snoring asleep. That's what it's going to be like. You're going to be like, wow.
We'll have anywhere from 6 to typically from 4 to 8 dogs in our living room.
Yes.
Every night, and
It's a pound at Jeff's house.
Lisa Phi Tribes the heck out of those pups.
Oh, they love it.
She's always on it.
Where are we at? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. Another question, let's see, we got is, do you guys have a website / Linktree yet? We are working on that. We will have something up running probably pretty soon.
Yeah, for the moment, we're exclusive to YouTube. And I'm just going to say this here. We're exclusive to YouTube because I personally find those other platforms slave systems.
Satan.
They're just slave systems to artists. They're not very fair to artists. And it's very hard for me to be in good faith and support those systems. But the more marketing people we get involved in this, I'm starting to realize I'm going to have to bow down to the beast system.
Sell out.
But man, I'm hanging on to it for so long. And for as long as I can, I just want to be like, no Spotify, no Apple.
Yes, yeah. Mary Ellen says, I'm incredibly thankful for all of the work you've done with all of the healing music. I truly know it has helped me, calms my mind and body and soul. And we're happy we can help you.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cosmo Girl says, do all of you make music?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
We're all
we do.
musicians.
We're all, yeah.
And 2 of them make really good music.
Who?
What,
You
you
two?
two?
You two.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we're all career musicians. We've been doing, all of us,
Mhm.
this is the only thing we do or ever have done, really. So, yeah, music.
Yeah.
Steph West also says, your music is making me cry sometimes, but why?
You're emotionally emoting the
Releasing.
tension. You're releasing the tension out of your body. And
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tension you feel in your body, we store our emotions in the body, and that's why you feel tense. So as you come into balance, the tension's going to release, and how it comes out of you, a lot of times is going to come out of you in dreams. It might come out of you in tears. It might come out of you in a cry. It might come out of you in a laugh. It all depends on what kind of emotions you have stored up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Larissa says, what should I listen to tonight before I go to bed?
I don't know how you feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're feeling anxious or you can't sleep, try the deep sleep.
Yeah.
What is it? The third eye deep sleep.
Yeah, I would say that if you're looking to have a lucid dream or getting into the third eye and maybe have an existential experience, then maybe do the third eye chakra one would be the best one to do. There's an 8-hour one. There's also a 1-hour one, which is a lot less intense. And if you're looking for calming aspects, the solfeggio are going to be your best bet for that. If you're looking for more creative zest, maybe go for the crown chakra. If you're looking to feel emotionally secure, or if you've got money problems or relationship problems, I would start at the root. Let's get down to the root and let's just iron that shit out.
Root it out.
Root it out.
Mm-hmm. Cosmo Girl also says, OMG, you guys, I could share so much information and knowledge and downloads I have on all of this. Please
do.
share.
Please do.
Yeah, no, we're always...
we'll have to get her on a podcast.
Yeah. If you have something you want to send to us, you can send it to us via email. I'll just use my email. It's mixmike@phitribe.tv, so you guys can send stuff to me.
Yeah.
And
we're also on Instagram and
we
Twitter. Reach out to us there.
yes, you guys, please
Phi Tribe
please follow our Instagram.
369.
Go ahead
Twitter.
and repeat that one more time, Mike.
Yes, my email. If you guys have anything, any information you want to send me, or just general stuff, comments and concerns or whatever, my email is mixmike@phitribe.tv.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We got still a whole bunch more.
Right on. You guys are awesome. I love you
yeah,
guys
we
so
really
much.
appreciate you
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah.
Kim says, I've been seeing 1111 very often, to the point where it got a little spooky. What does this mean?
What does it mean to you? This is the beginning of the awakening. This is your rational mind starting to wrestle with the idea that things aren't quite as rational as you thought they were. And 1111 is a little, you can say that it's a kiss from God, people will say, or it's just a thing to make you notice that you're probably living in a simulation.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's kind of a subtle way to put it.
Yeah.
Is that too much? Did I lay it on too much?
You
there?
said
maybe a little
kinda.
jump down into the rabbit hole.
You said kinda, so that kind of softened
Kinda,
it.
it kinda, just kinda a little bit, just a little simulation, no big deal. Yeah, people can have a little simulation as a treat, right?
Yeah,
That's
a
fine.
little bit, a little bit.
Jamie says, what about effects on cats?
Cats are right out. No, I'm just
No,
joking.
I think cats are particularly they notice vibrations,
Yeah.
not with
sure.
hearing, but with their bodies.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got.
But it's good to play for cats.
more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good for everybody. It's
Yeah.
good for everything.
Yeah,
good for
it's good. It's good for plants.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
also-
there's
it's
been
all-
bloody studies on this.
But it's
Yeah.
also nature. The sound of the ocean is Phi balanced. The sound of a bird is Phi balanced. The sound of wind. I mean, so
Natural tones and
Natural
natural sounds
tones.
in general.
Yeah.
So this is the best thing that you could play for your cat.
Right, some of the best.
Unequivocally.
Bobby Wilson again says, I'm tired of thinking 24/7, and then let's not forget my ears ring like school bell on March 5th. That's a very specific date. Every minute of the day of my life, as long as I can remember. Well, this is something great to play because one of the best ways, it's not going to obviously heal tinnitus or anything like that, but one of the best ways to not think about tinnitus is what they call masking. And this is great stuff to mask with because it's gentle frequencies. There's not a lot of sharp, high frequency, harsh sounds. So this is a great way to kind of soothe your ears and cover up that noise floor of your tinnitus. So like if you're in a really quiet room, you'll notice your tinnitus really bad. Your ears will ring very, very loudly. So if you just play this in the background, just so it's like just slightly louder than your ears ringing, that'll help a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And also know that if you're suffering from tinnitus, a lot of times that can be triggered or brought on or intensified by different medications being taken at the same time. So if you have several different prescriptions you're taking, or maybe you're taking a prescription medicine and you smoke weed, that can cause an intensification of that ringing. So just be aware of that too. You know, I've chosen weed over the ringing, but that's just me.
You know, another technique that I shared with both of you. I was friends with a Grammy-winning engineer named Mark Pinsky, who told me he was about 70 years old, and his hearing he was Frank Zappa's front of house and recording engineer his whole life. So his ears were blown out in his 70s, and he discovered by taking earplugs and putting them in his ear at night, he said it totally caused his ears not to hear anything, because at night you're hearing the air conditioning in the house. It's still hearing all the, and so your ears are always working. So his theory was if you would just totally get them to shut down, they will start to try to heal themselves. And you know, in his late or his mid 70s or whatever, he came. I saw him, had lunch with him. He was just smiling ear to ear, and I said, "Why are you so happy?" He says, "Because I can hear again."
Wow, that's
so
incredible.
So yeah, so maybe try that again. We're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
No, definitely not.
Not a psychologist. But try it. Give it a try, and let us know if it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been going for like almost 2 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I hope we answered a lot of questions, and we want to make this a weekly thing. And,
Yes.
And like I said, like we didn't even scratch the surface of how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Yeah.
But we didn't overwhelm you and scare you.
For
and,
sure.
you know.
So we'll be doing this every week.
Yeah.
Same bat channel, same bat time. So Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
You guys can tune in to Phi Tribe Live and get some more questions ready for us.
Yeah.
I really enjoy answering and doing the questions because I think you guys have a lot of them, clearly.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think that's about it for today.
Yeah,
I
that
think we've
sounds great.
talked about a lot of core stuff, and we can dive into some of this stuff deeper
Right on.
next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And
Yeah.
and higher.
And higher.
And higher.
Deeper
Yeah,
and higher at the same
deeper.
time.
Yes, we can.
And
Also
higher
can.
allows you to go deeper.
Higher does usually.
When you're higher, you can go deeper. Or I
Yeah.
go deeper.
We chose sobriety for this one because we were already stressed out of it being the first show. We were like, oh no, sober on this one.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for all attending.
Yes, thank you.
It's really, and thank you for all the amazing comments. There have been many nights I've cried myself, just like, wow, man, what a gift to be able to have that effect. So thank you for that.
And we enjoy
Yes.
enjoy this this journey that we're on with all of you. So
Yeah, right
Mhm.
on. Yeah.
so thank
Yes,
you.
Mary Ellen also says it would be interesting to see you make the music. Yeah, we actually plan on,
Yeah.
as we start doing, we're going to be doing a lot more live content in general. We're going to be doing this once a week, and we'll probably be doing some other random live streams throughout
Sure. Studio sessions and
studio
stuff.
sessions,
Yeah.
and yeah.
How are we going to mute when Ford starts throwing her computer around and smashing things?
That's not very Phi Balanced. No.
No,
I don't get like
Nobody
that.
does. No.
Only a tiny bit.
Or
When I'm dealing with
if-
rock starring singers.
If Ford gets a request to help out with marketing or accounting or or contracts
Or
or
contract.
hey, would you call our lawyer? No,
You're fine.
I just want to sit in this chair. That's all I want to do.
Don't
Hey.
pull me out of my zen.
That's right.
Don't fuck
That's
with my
right.
zen.
Don't fuck with my zen.
Well, thank you,
Yes,
guys.
thank you, Al.
And
Thank you
we'll
very
see you
much.
guys next week.
Right on. Awesome.
Ciao.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Gee, how do we stop this now?